process needs to be in place on the front end for the Economic Development Cabinet as well. Because without some way to go back and look at the process of the Economic Development Cabinet, we have a harder time in the later stages of that process making certain that companies are actually living up to their end of the deal and that your tax dollars, your incentive dollars are protected. So that's what I would look at.
Mr. Bullock.
Thank you. There are occasions, and I'm hoping they're rare, but there are occasions in which individuals close meetings and engage in secret discussions when they should not do so. And there are occasions, which I hope are rare, where individuals withhold documents for political or other purposes. And I would hope those are rare as well. In my judgment, the change in the law that would be of most benefit would be to increase the penalties for willful violation of these acts. Presently, under the open meetings law, a willful violation is $25 per day. I think that should be increased. I think it should be increased so that it is a definite deterrent for any state official or any other person from violating the open meetings or open records law. Thank you.
Mr. Coleman.
I guess first I'd have to disagree with Mr. Connolly on his interpretation of the open meetings or open records with regard to the financial cabinet. I think anything that would discourage businesses from applying or making an application to bring their business or relocate or to expand their businesses is something that I would probably frown upon. With regard to changes to the statute, the one issue that I would like to see more, and I think that it goes to the open records, is an encouragement to put more and more records on the internet. I think that is the one great equalizer in our society is the availability of information on the internet. The more and more we have of that type of information, the better that we'll be able to open government up.
Mr. Kimball.
Well, like I indicated earlier, I think about the most important kind of meeting that we have are courts, and we've got this whole section of our courts that's closed, and I just think that's wrong. So that would probably be my primary focus for any changes in the law. I do agree about getting information available on the internet. We have to be careful how we do that. It's difficult in a lot of counties for deputy clerks to handle information that is in hard copy form, and to increase their workload and just start making them scan all this stuff into computers without the resources would not be a good idea. I've recently had some bad experiences in federal court where they require electronic filing of documents, and I just think that's a nutty idea. But that's pretty much my focus on that issue. Thank you.
Mr. Larson.
I think I answered that question before. The Attorney General is not a legislator, should not be turned into a legislator. It's not that these functions aren't important. They're very important. Protecting us from secret government or government without the opportunity for us to have, for the public to have a say. But well, let me tell you my experience. I'm a volunteer, or have been a volunteer to lots of public commissions, agencies, groups, and I just don't appreciate more red tape thrown at us. And every time it seems the legislators get together, there's more red tape. Just consider us. And I don't think the appropriate agency is an executive agency called the Attorney General to make legislation. Thank you.
I would like to ask a follow-up because you've made this point several times. There's a difference between legislating and advocating. And as an Attorney General, you would have to live with the results of the legislation. Is there any point at which you see you might advocate to the legislature that they're maybe on the wrong track or the right track, or should you do something else?
I think I've been asked not to comment on this. I think the Prosecutors Advisory Council or Commission should get into reducing the number of people in jails and prisons, because America is the most imprisoned nation in the world, and we're one of the most imprisoned states. And if it gets into beyond that, I don't want to comment at this point. I have an agenda. I'd like to focus on an agenda which I think is important.
Mr. Bullock will have this next question first.